Hello everybody and welcome to Non Sequitur News. Today is August 15th, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 228. It's a Time Machine episode. Today we're going to be talking about, I'm Mayor Watt, and that is the visualizer for the Sentient AI from the future. Today we're going to be talking about elephant fossils in Mississippi, the horror of closing Game Informer. That's a lot of celery. Subvide. All horseplay all day. Shark carpet. That's hard to say. Tiny South American deer. One officer against all odds. Well, they didn't kiss the ring. And Starliner. Part, oh my god. Alright, folks. I need to pause a couple of things. I have monitors that are monitoring the stream from different bippity boops, right? One on Twitch. It's basically, monitoring turducken here. And right before the show, I lost my finger. Yes, my voice raises that high whenever I lose a finger. Anywho, let's talk about all of this. The first article is over on the Mobile Channel. In Mississippi, a discovery of an elephant fossil from the Ice Age provides window into the past. Fossil ASMR. Fossil hunter Eddie Templeton was out exploring in MISSISSIPPI. Have you ever heard that song, right? The crooked letter, hunchback, hunchback. Yeah, there's a song where you say, M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, hunchback, I. Anyway, they were out and they stumbled across a steep embankment, and in it was an Ice Age elephant tusk. And lo and behold, the fossil was intact, making it an I'm sorry? It's because, I ran into somebody in Mississippi when I was younger, and they had a whistle on a string, and they were whirling it around their head. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they said, well, it keeps elephants away. And I said, there aren't elephants here since the Ice Age. And they said, see, it works. So the fossil was intact, making it an extremely rare find in Mississippi. This article doesn't have a byline, but it's posted over at phys.org. I don't know why. But the picture is credit Tom Fisk from Pexels. All right. Anyway, the state's Department of Environmental Quality announced on its website on August 9th. But the find set off a race to protect the artifact because the Mississippi sun can dry out the fossil and destroy it. When members of the state survey team arrived, they saw the fossil tusk was in amazing condition, the agency said. Cool! So it was suspected, based on the strong curvature of the massive tusk, that Eddie and the team were dealing with a Columbian mammoth and not that of the more common mastodon. That's interesting. So it's not really an elephant, it's a... So why is a Columbian... Wait, Columbian? Okay, see, I don't know enough about that. It has to be like a time frame or something, right? So it would be the first of its... Yeah, like somebody discovered it and it's of that. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll have to look into this. I love doing the show, all of our shows, because we discover something, and while we might have some context to it, there's always something that actually leads us down some kind of a rabbit hole or dinosaur trail. I don't know. Sounds weird. Dinosaur. Anyway. So, sure. I'll let you have it. Well, when the team got the fossil back to the laboratory, it was confirmed by the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science paleontologist as indeed belonging to a mammoth. The animal was among a large cast of characters that once roamed the Ice Age prairie ecosystem. Along with humans, we used to ride them for miles and miles. And then the aliens came and... Never mind. Okay, so why is it Columbi? Is it because it's one of those people that solves crimes like Columbo, but the plurality of it is Columbi? It's a murder mystery mammoth. Columbo. Moving on. Next article's over in Technology Today. Respected gaming magazine. Are you... What? Oh, so... Oh, yeah, Yeah. Thanks, Columbus. Anyway. Next article's over in Technology Today. Respected gaming magazine praised after sudden closure. Industry professionals say Game Informer will be much missed after 33 years of gaming coverage. Ah, yes, the bygone age of printed and then transitioning over to digital, and then basically the world becoming very, very flat and things getting more expensive, but everybody competing at lower and lower levels. And Game Informer was one of many magazines. I used to work in a bookstore, and we used to be able to tear the covers off of magazines and get credit for them. But afterward, we would be able to take the magazines that we liked. Not all of them. Yeah, like one Game Informer or one whatever. And Game Informer was one of the magazines that I used to read when I was way back knee high to, I don't know. So Tom Richardson over at BBC.com put this article together. You're from the future, so you weren't even around when Game Informer, when I was reading Game Informer. Yeah. So the makers of the final game to appear on the cover of the world's longest running gaming magazine says its sudden closure is a big loss to the industry. Yeah. So the site is actually, it's there, but it's holding the last image, an array of images actually, from its time. 33 years it ran as a US-based Game Informer magazine that used to have like basically it would talk about all of the games that are coming. GameStop owned the magazine, but apparently GameStop decided to close it. It says it was the subject of an in-depth this game called Dead by Daylight developer Behavior Interactive and UK studio Supermassive Games was interviewed with this choose your own adventure style horror game called The Casting of Frank Stone, and Game Informer and Tracy Tuft from Supermassive told Newsbeat that the reporters visited both teams to produce it, but that was the last edition, and that's what was on the screen, or the cover art. So says it's sad news for everybody. It was such a tentpole of video game journalism. It'll be much missed. And unfortunately, I didn't save any of these things. You know, I've always kind of transitioned out of print. Paper is basically like dirt in Waterworld. Is dead. Yep. I'd like to claw it back, but only for rights management, because you know what you can't duplicate millions and millions of times and distribute without any real cost? Yeah, DVD. You can rip it and then distribute it, but physical media you own. and you can sell it to somebody when you no longer, oh my God, my arm. Anyway, but no, physical media is gone, and you basically have a perpetual right to consume. And if you stop paying, then, oh, wait, that's something else. That's something that we have to talk about that. Hold on a second. Take a note. Remember to write or to talk about the idea. Just say that. Okay, anyway. So we just maybe take a little more time to dot our I's and cross our T's. Tracy hopes the industry turns a corner soon. Quote, I think doing more things like this, bringing more innovation, bringing more creative partnerships, that's certainly going to add a little bit of invigoration, she says. But this is all, they're talking really about the casting of Frank Stone. Took about 2 years to make, a relatively short time for a video game because Supermassive has an established pipeline for making narrative titles, and they go on about that. But what I wanted to really talk about was the fact that this game magazine, Game Informer, is now gone. Another, pillar of the gaming world dissolved, because now you can get your information everywhere. And I'm sure they had one, but I actually removed one of our articles because they have a hard paywall up. And while I respect journalism, I don't think that a hard paywall is the right way to go, because I can get that same information from somewhere else. And at least if you have an ad on there, or I find enough value in your site, I'll pay for your site. I'll pay for your service. But I don't want to be basically forced into, and at all times people have the ability to sit there and talk to somebody else. Hey, I really like this website. I don't subscribe because I hardly ever go to it. But I would be promoting that other, right now I would be promoting that other website, but because I can't send one of our listeners or viewers over to the site only to get hit by a hard paywall. Now I suspect that other people will not, but I will. I'm getting hit by it, so I have to pay more now. Yeah, and it actually is, because it has tiered. If you're a certain thing, then you get it cheaper. Anyway, moving on. Next article is over in Non Sequitur News. DEA seizes more than 2,300 pounds of meth hidden in celery. DEA agents busted a Mexican cartel's plan to drop off the meth at the Atlanta State Farmers Market in Forest Park on Thursday. This doesn't look like celery to me. Anyway, it says border agents seize 378 pounds of meth hidden in tomatillos. Yeah, they did. Yeah, Rachel Dobkin over at Newsweek.com, because they never align their damn videos with their articles. Yeah, it must throw off the dog, all I smell is celery is what the dog's barking. Just celery all over the place. Yeah, I mean, because the drugs are stacked in the center of it, so that if anybody's walking around or looking at it, they don't see anything. Murphy said the DEA agent received a tip about a tractor trailer coming across the Mexican border, which was later revealed to be holding 2,400 pounds of meth. The drugs still have to be tested, but Murphy said officials believe the shipment was pure meth, so uncut. Wow. So this was contained in a cover load of celery. Obviously, we threw away the celery, so there's no concern of buying celery at the... I guess if you did buy that celery... Yeah, can you imagine? you would be paying a very high price for that celery. Whoa. What? That's a big word. So the drugs were found in a truck, and they were valued at $3 million wholesale because, there's a wholesaler's market for it. Retail would have been whatever they cut it with and how much the market actually demanded depending on where it goes. Meanwhile, I was going to play the trading card game store simulator. So I guess I'm glad that I wasn't in the produce store market right now because my delivery of celery would never have arrived. So did they follow the path? Like, okay, it was going to be delivered. Who's it being delivered to? Harper added...
or whatever. It's...
You know what? You have been really quiet. And I just realized why.
Because I'm guessing I wasn't talking.
Sorry, AI. And we're only 2 articles in. Well, 3. So that's okay. I'm sorry. I forgot to mash up production values. Okay, so quick. So Mississippi, the elephant fossil.
I didn't realize elephants were in North America.
Game Informer.
Why didn't they move to a subscription model?
That's the one you went with? Okay. And the DEA.
I mean, this makes me think of Bunnicula.
Bunnicula. How many people know about Bunnicula?
I probably nobody.
Dear God. Bunnicula. So do you want to describe Bunnicula?
I don't remember exactly what the story is, but it's something like vampire bunnies or something with carrots and celery, maybe. Yeah. I don't even know if it had celery.
No, it's just carrots.
It's a little removed.
Well, what does meth celery have to do with vampire bunny carrots?
If you're having meth carrots, you're probably starting to envision things like vampire bunnies running around. I thought there was a direct nexus.
It's meth celery for methany. All right, moving on. Next article's over. I was wondering why you were really, really quiet, and I'm like, why? What is going on here? Oh, tab. Button push. Okay, never mind.
Well, that might explain why I think you ignored a few comments I made. Maybe they were so quiet you didn't hear them.
No, I heard you. Everything that you said, I've heard. But, oh, man. All right. The next article is over in the Reality Hacker channel. It's actually a show that we're going to have on this weekend. Your favorite sous vide cooker is going subscription. So subvide, sorry. So Anova, maker of the highly popular sous vide cookers, is going to charge a small fee to the cooker via the app. Yeah. What
now,
kind of
does
crap?
This beat heated seats?
Well, it's heating other things. So, you know what the problem is? It's heating. Heating is the problem. Phil Nickinson over at digitaltrends.com put this article. Wait until freezers go. Well, you use the freezer for a month. We're going to have to charge you $9.99.
Or we're going to let your food thaw.
Spoil, yeah. Oh, my God. So it's official. Nothing is sacred. Anova Culinary? I think it's Anova Culinary is the company behind the popular sous vide devices of the same name. And yeah, it's not Anova. Anyway, and today in a blog post and an email to customers, it announced that it's moving to a subscription model. Kiss my ass. Sorry, I just broke
That's the name of the subscription model?
Yeah.
It sounded like it was like model, kiss my ass.
It's now being referred to as Nunya. And when you ask me what Nunya is, Nunya getting my money. Anyway, here's the deal. Starting August 21st, 2021, anyone who already has downloaded the Innova app and has an account on the Innova app is good to go. You're grandfathered in. New customers will have to pay $2 a month or $10 a year to use the device via the app. Kiss my ass.
You know, we don't want any new customers.
I had been thinking about getting one of these. But now no.
You should have bought it yesterday.
Yeah.
Or whenever.
Well, no. I have anyone who has already downloaded the app, the Innova app, and has an account is good to go. So starting August 21st, so I got to buy it really quick.
Yeah, you still have a few days.
So for the uninitiated, a Innova sous vide cooker is a device that heats and circulates a water bath. Food, say a steak, is vacuum sealed in a bag and then immersed in the water, and it cooks relatively slowly but also evenly. Because you control the temperature of the water, it's practically impossible to overcook the food, and all the juices are retained in the meat in the bag, or in the bag. You then sear the meat or whatever it is you're making, because you can do it with fish and anything really, but yeah. So it says it's relatively easy, extremely tasty, and they say exactly what the subscription covers will vary a little depending on which model cooker you have, but the broad strokes are manual control via the app, so you can still customize time and temperature that way. Updates about cook status on your phone, cooking guides and recipe discovery, and the ability to save recipes. Hold on. I need to go download the app real quick. One second.
You need like the game show music or something playing. The Jeopardy music.
Yeah, exactly. You think I was kidding? I'm not kidding. So yeah, this is sad, and really kind of just pisses me off. So yeah, I guess you can do all of that. Okay, well anyway, so the move comes about a month after it announced that it was shutting down remote connectivity for its original Bluetooth and Bluetooth Plus models on September 28th, 2025. You'll still be able to use them locally, as in plug them in, turn them on, and they'll work just fine. You won't be able to control the devices via the Innova app after that date. To make up for it, Innova offered owners a 50% off coupon, but that discount was only good for a couple of weeks and expired on the 1st of this month.
Oh, too late.
Yep. So the bad news is, and you can argue what Innova is doing here actually is the more fair way to go about things. Instead of just raising prices on hardware $10 across the board, you have a choice to pay or not, and to take advantage of the subscription features or not. But here's the problem. It isn't just raising prices on hardware $10 across the board. They're nickel and diming you every year in perpetuity as long as you use the device. So
yeah, that's the big problem, right? Like it's just the recurring payments.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create an account, and we'll see if I get dinged or not, because I don't own a device. So am I truly grandfathered in? Or
I don't think so. You probably have to be using the app with the device, but who knows?
Yeah, this is pure unadulterated greed. Greed. If it's about the recipes, then charge a subscription for the recipes. All the rest is a sunk cost. I've already paid for the hardware, the software, everything, the communication, the technology. I've already paid for it. All the other stuff, no. Because I don't have to rely on you to make that hardware continue to work via Bluetooth to me. Sending me telemetry, it's nothing. It's already part and parcel to the software. But the other stuff, right? The subscription, the cooking guides and whatever, recipe discovery, fine, charge for that. But then you're nothing but a recipe company. And I can get recipes all over the place. This is a greedy shitbag kind of
Whoa.
Okay, well, anyway. Anova, you suck. Moving on. Next article, over in the Marble Channel, horses are actually brilliant slackers, according to a new study. Horses aren't going to be planning bank. You know what? I've met a couple of really smart horses. I'm pretty sure that they could plan a bank heist. Anyway, this article says that horses aren't going to be planning bank heists anytime soon. But new research out of Nottingham Trent University has revealed that horses are a lot smarter than we previously understood. Turns out they can think strategically and can even plan ahead. I can't even do that, hence the show is today and not yesterday.
What?
So, as detailed in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science, there is a journal for everything. Applied Animal Behavior Science.
I wish it was called Brilliant Slackers.
Brilliant Slackers magazine. Next on ohmTown. So researchers made 20 horses play a complex treat-based game designed to assess their ability to learn and their adaptability. The horses were told to touch a card with their nose. If they did, they were given a treat.
Wait. How are they told to do that?
There's a horse whisperer. Then the researchers introduced a stoplight, which changed the rules. So the article is by Louis Prada over at, I think it's Louis. Anyway, at vice.com. The deck statement says same about being brilliant slackers.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So the stoplight changed the rules. Now treats were only given if the card was touched when the light was turned off. The horses, not picking up on it, continued to touch the card whenever they wanted. Then for those in the podcast, I'm actually doinking my nose on the microphone.
I know. It's been very well timed.
So then the researchers instituted a penalty, a 10-second timeout if they touched the card while the light was on. The horses immediately adapted to the punishment by following the newly established rules, indicating to the researchers that the horses understood the assignment the whole time, but were going to play along unless they faced consequences.
To get more treats, probably.
The immediacy is the real discovery here, it seems. They said that in similar tests, other animals eventually picked up on the pattern, but not so quickly, and usually with a lot of trial and error involved, like squirrels or dumbasses, and they'll take forever to figure something out. But apparently horses understood right away. There's more to this article, but horses are one of those animals where while I think that they're beautiful and amazing and derpy because I've seen them playing with, there's a thing called a horse ball. It is a very ruggedized, thick rubber ball with a handle. And horses throw it around and play with this ball. Yeah, look it up. And so I remember one time I was learning to ride a horse. And the I don't know what you would call the person, stable master or whatever. The person grabbed the reins of my horse and we were walking back to the stable. I was on the horse and the horse just seemed to kind of nudge off to one side closer to the edge. And I think that the horse saw what the stable master didn't. And that was a roughly 8-foot deep pit, and down the pit the stable master went, leaving my horse to just stand there like, see ya. So I had to get off of my horse and help the dude up, and eventually we made it back to the stable with the guy funny. Basically cussing the horse out, like, because it was dark. I came back late. Okay. It's kind of my fault. Anyway, horses are pretty smart, and they're wild animals still, no matter how much you think that they're your buddy. So respect them. I certainly do. I'll never walk next to one again.
Especially not if there's a pit. It might
really
let you fall into the pit.
Yep. So this next article is over in the Marble Channel. Thousands of sharks found sleeping like a carpet on the ocean floor. This isn't the first time I've heard about this kind of stuff, but I thought it was interesting because a lot of people think that sharks have to keep moving. Otherwise, they just die because no water is flowing across their gills. But an enormous assemblage of snoozing sharks were all female, posing a mystery to marine biologists. The article is over at gizmodo.com by Adam Kovac. And again, the deck statement says the enormous assemblage of snoozing sharks were all female, posing a mystery to marine biologists. They look really cool. What are these called? What kind of sharks? Thousands of schloofing
sharks.
Yeah, I think that's just sleeping.
Yeah, it's interesting looking though.
Were spotted in an underwater sleepover party off the coast of Australia. They look like I don't know if these are actually leopard sharks, but they look like leopard sharks. So the shiver consisted of Port Jackson sharks. Oh, that's actually what they're called, Port Jackson sharks. A species that inhabits Australia's southern coastal waters. The sharks are known for their somewhat bizarre appearance, with two prominent ridges running from their blunt noses to the backs of their head. All right. Now the sharks can grow up to 1.6 meters or 5.5 feet in length, are nocturnal, and spend their nights hunting for squid, octopuses, and crustaceans. Unlike many other shark species, Port Jackson sharks are not considered a threatened or endangered species. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so they were at the bottom of Beagle Marine Park, an aquatic reserve in the Bass Strait. I think that's how it's pronounced. The body of water that separates Australia from Tasmania to its south. Pretty neat. I don't know if they actually have like a research paper or anything like that. But it was
it too
spotted.
Deep for scuba diving near them?
I don't know what the depth was. Let's see.
Because that might be a little startling if you're scuba diving and then you think, oh, there's a shark. Oh, wait, there's 100 sharks.
Yeah, it says it was 213 feet deep, or 65 meters beneath the surface, and that's a considerable deeper dive than your standard deep dive is about 150 feet for a single tank, but you could go down to 213 feet with a couple of tanks, and you just extend your decompression stops so you don't get the bends on the way up, but it can take a lot of time to come back up, so don't be a dumbass. And you can do exotic gases and spend longer time, like nitrox, stay down there longer. So it says, we had been hoping to see sharks again on the survey, said Monk. Coming upon them twice in a 3,000 square kilometer park is like finding a needle in a haystack. So pretty cool. It says a swarm of sharks was the plot to Netflix's summer surprise hit Under Paris, but unlike the mutant Makos from the movie, Port Jackson sharks are not a threat to humans. Even on the very rare occasion they do bite, the worst that happens is a bruise and a torn wetsuit.
It might still hurt, but I guess that means you're not going to lose your life or your limb or something.
It's kind of funny. I mean, it's such a throwaway comment at the end, which is actually pretty standard for journalists. But I thought it was funny to make that point.
It is.
Okay, let's keep going. Next article's over in the Marble Channel. Tiny South American deer debuts at New York City Zoo. A tiny South American deer that will weigh only as much as a watermelon when fully grown is... But watermelons come in all shapes and sizes. I don't get it. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the Queens Zoo in New York City. It's made of salsa. Now, the article does not have a byline again, and it's over at phys.org. Look at that tiny little thing. Oh, it is a poodoo.
Oh, that's very cute.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's a poodoo. They were kind of cagey about it, right? Tiny South American deer debuts. If they would have called it a poodoo in the title, it would have been a giveaway. But yeah, they're pretty cute and tiny. I want one. I want a tiny poodoo. So the southern poodoo fawn
they're wild animals. So
they are wild animals.
Have them as people.
Yeah, I know. I can still want one. Put it in want it. This article needs to go in want. So the southern poodoo fawn weighed just 2 pounds when it was born June 21st. The Wildlife Conservation Society, which runs the New York City zoos, said in a news release Thursday, it is expected to weigh 15 to 20 pounds in adulthood. That's basically a sturdy savanna cat, an F3 savanna cat. And it would probably be the same size. What if I get a license?
From whom?
Well, from the local officials that I'm capable of taking care of a poodoo. No?
Maybe you should check what they eat.
8 poodoo fawns have been born there since 2005 at the Queen Zoo because they breed southern poodoos in collaboration with other zoos in an effort to maintain genetically diverse populations. And now it will share the Queen's Zoo habitat with its parents. There are 2 more poodoos in the Conservation Society's Prospect Park Zoo in Brooklyn. It's pretty neat. Look at that. It's cute.
It's pretty adorable.
It is. All right. Moving on. Next article is over in on Sequitur News. Texas town left with 1 officer after police mass exodus. I titled this one Officer Against All Odds. The police chief.
That could be pretty rough, especially if they're like, we need the whole force to show up for something.
So you know that you have to be, either you are the only person that is completely tone deaf as to what's going on between the city council and the rest of the police force, or you're the one like complete ass that nobody wants to be around.
I mean, there's definitely something going on, but
yeah. So Khalida Rahman is the author of this article. The video has nothing to do with this article, but a Texas town left with 1 officer after police mass exodus. The small police department in Texas has been left with only 1 active officer after a mass exodus of officers. Try that in a small town. Police Chief William Monser and 3 officers resigned from the Surfside Beach Police Department on Monday, according to KHOU 11. Later in the week, 4 more officers resigned. Quote, I would like to thank the residents for their support over the last 2 years, Monsieur wrote in a post on the department's Facebook page after announcing that several members of the force has resigned, according to the Facts news outlet. Quote, I would also like to thank all of our local police agencies for their support to the department. So the Facebook page couldn't be accessed on Thursday, according to the author in the article. Kelly Marks, the last remaining officer, was promoted to interim police chief. Surviving attrition. Ta-da! Yeah, some people do it and deserve to be promoted. Other people do it and the institution shouldn't. I'll just put it that way. So the police department in Surfside Beach, a town located just 60 miles south of Houston with a population of around 640 people, had 10 officers, 9 of whom were active. 1 was on medical leave and planning to resign.
Oh, I was going to say, I hope the inactive one wasn't the one who was left.
Yeah, really. So the wave of resignations was reportedly the result of alleged issues between the police department and the Surfside Beach City Council. Let's see.
That's kind of a significant issue that might lead to that, right? I mean, you could see maybe one person leaving or something, but...
So essentially what would happen is somebody would be arrested or whatever with the police, and the police, the people in the city would say, well, I know so-and-so, and I'm going to call so-and-so and take your job. So they try to retaliate against their officers. Monsieur had threatened to quit during a city council meeting last Monday, during which he accused the council of working to remove him. I mean, it says the whole situation is unfortunate, but if that's what's going on, I hope that you have cameras. That's why you have the chest cameras on, right? That way you have evidence that somebody is abusing either the city council's authority or their authority.
Right, and you'd think in something like a city council meeting that would be recorded. I mean, who knows what's happening?
Look what you can try in a small town. Moving on. Next article is over in the Law Nerd channel, which is a show that I'd really like to kick off, but I don't know. You kind of need an attorney or two. Anyway, a teen on a field trip ends up in handcuffs and jail garb because judge didn't want to be played with. She was falling asleep. By the way, that's what was going on. She was falling asleep. Okay. So a teenager sleeping during a field trip to a Detroit courtroom got a wake-up call from a judge Tuesday.
Who was the organizer of the field trip or the teacher or whatever? I mean, the judge should not have done this, but who else was there?
Yeah. So Deborah Kassens-Weiss over at abajournal.com put the article together. And it says a teenager sleeping during a field trip to a Detroit courtroom got a wake-up call from a judge Tuesday. Judge Kenneth King, who I'm going to just label as a POS, of the 36th District Court in Michigan, told the teen that he didn't like her attitude and that he was not going to be played with. By the end of the incident, the girl was in jail uniform and handcuffs and subjected to a group vote on whether she should go to jail. So populist crap. And punitive of a teenager who was told to come to this thing and was probably exhausted because she's doing other things, right? She could be studying. She could have disrupted home life, all kinds of stuff.
Job. Who knows? Exactly.
Kenneth
she worked
King,
in a meat packing plant overnight or something.
Or working on the Hyundai hoods, stamping metal at 2:00 in the morning. Kenneth King, without knowing more, I would have to say dispassionate response instead of maybe taking the person aside and saying, are you okay? Is everything cool at home? Or do you need any assistance? Instead.
Well, do we even have to know more to know this is just completely wrong?
16 years old.
There's nothing that would justify this.
Right. 16 years old. Her parents and the group sponsoring the field trip said that the girl was 15 years old, but initial reports said that she was 16. In a statement, the group said that the girl was traumatized by the judge's unnecessary disciplinary treatment and scolding. Although the judge was trying to teach a lesson of respect, his methods were unacceptable. The group of students should have been simply asked to leave the courtroom if he thought that they were being disrespectful. Somebody falling asleep in your courtroom, maybe you're a boring judge. And the only reason you command any respect is because somebody appointed you that position. So King told the Detroit Free Press that he was also traumatized by the incident. You're an adult, you horrible person. He told WXYZ that he wanted this to look and feel very real to her, and that it was his own version of scared straight. You are not supposed to be an activist judge. You're supposed to lay out the law. You're supposed to find judgment for people who have committed crimes based on an evaluation. I find it very irrational, and I don't think that you're suitable for a position.
I think this judge will be gone in a matter of months.
I think so too. Yep. So King told the courtroom staffers to bring the girl back to his courtroom about 2 hours later, according to the Detroit Free Press. Sorry, I'm babbling. She had on handcuffs and was wearing a jumpsuit that said the words Wayne County Jail printed on the back of it. It says, you sleep at home in your bed, not in court. And quite frankly, I don't like your attitude, King said.
What kind of attitude when you're asleep?
I'm tempted to give her some days in jail as a lesson. This is a horrible human being. King then asked the field trip audience for a vote on whether he should be lenient, and the girl's peers voted for leniency. She didn't commit a crime, you piece of crap.
Right. You kind of miss the whole process. Like, charges. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that he committed a crime because all he had to do was be a compassionate human being, but his position has jaded him, made him cynical based on this one article. So just crap. Anyway, moving on. Next article is over, and you know what? I should be the judge of ohmTown as well and just pass judgment on.
Oh, so you're going to be the mayor and the judge, but then you're going to be kind of like the city council police issue.
Oh, yeah. Heck on it. That's okay. I have the ability to do this. So NASA delays Starliner decision over fears Boeing craft could spin out and hit ISS. I heard there is something, though. A decision was made to bring it back or to initiate some separation or something.
Oh, I don't think I saw that.
Oh, really? That might have happened in the last 24 hours, but Boeing launched its Starliner spacecraft into orbit on June 5th. The plan was for the craft and its crew to dock with the ISS for 8 days. Now it's been a couple of months. And it's actually deadlocked a docking bay. So there's only one. And in the other one, there's long-term experiments taking place, so nobody can actually dock. I'm not sure what all is going on because I swear we've actually seen supply missions going up. But maybe that's something else.
It seems like Cygnus did, but right. Where did it dock?
So Owen Bellwood over at jalopnik.com put this article together. And that's really the nuts and bolts of this. It says, however, another problem is looming over the doomed craft. Experts are now concerned that any attempt to bring the craft back to Earth before the thrusters are fixed could result in it spinning out of control and hitting the ISS. That's why I think that they should just disconnect it and push that thing down. Just dunk. Yeah.
This is just ridiculous. I still come back to these people were not expecting to be there, and they did not bring enough luggage with them, I'm sure.
Anything. Oh my gosh. Every time you say that, I go, ew. 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 There is not enough air scrubber and carbon filtration in outer space for me to want to be on that ship right now. Or station. So NASA is now committed to a final decision on has now to bring the craft by August. At the end of August, reports Futurism. So this is actually involving Futurism for one link, Jalopnik for other stuff. There's actually a bunch of little links in here. But the agency is considering testing the capsule to see if it's ready to return for a return flight, or its backup is to bring Wilmore and Williams back to terra firma on a SpaceX mission that will launch in September and return in February 2025. They're gonna be on that. Anyway, once the decision on the safe return of the astronauts is made, the next question will be whether or not Boeing can be trusted with spaceflight once again. Whoops. Mom and Dad are pissed.
Okay, that's from the article.
Yep, Mom and Dad are pissed. Yeah, look, when I saw this mishmashy patchwork that looks like bubblegum and duct tape and maybe a tampon is involved, I said, this thing looks like it was made in somebody's garage. Then they had a leak. And then they had another one. And then in space, they discover 5 more. You're like, what the hell is going on? I would have just said, you know what? Let's abort this and bring you straight back down.
Don't make me turn this space shuttle around.
I'm going to turn this Boeing Starliner right back around. Anyway. Yeah, they really Scrooged this one. McDuck. Anyway, whatever. So that's it, folks. I am Mayor Watt, and that's the Sentient AI from the future, and we are going to use Canadarm to launch ourselves back into the main street of ohmTown.com. Go over there, become a citizen. If you've been here this long, then like and subscribe and follow us here on Twitch and over on YouTube, and leave a comment and tell a friend and download the podcast and go over to the Discord. And I'm still not done.
You can refresh.
Oh, well, can I? I don't think so. Okay, we're going to turn off the time machine. Doink.
Oh.
All right. Oh, look, this is about Starfield. I thought it was Starliner at first.
Starliner, right.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's it, folks. We are done for the Time Machine episode. And later on tonight, we're going to have the real episode, the August 16th episode.
This was a real episode.
I mean, it was a Time Machine episode. So we're done even earlier. Anyway. Stay frisky, everybody. I am out of gas, and I can't return to Earth. What do I do? Oh, I sit around here on the ISS playing cards in the same suit I came up with 2 months ago.